How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 coming at you. I'm going to try to get this video done quickly because my phone battery's about to die, and I might leave some stuff out. But just diving right in, just when you think the liberal agenda in this country couldn't get any more asinine and absurd, they always seem to do something to top the last stupid thing that they did. Now, of course, as we all know, it was announced by the Cleveland Indians owner yesterday that after this upcoming season, he's going to do away with the Chief Wahoo logo, which is just a bunch of bullshit garbage. But staying on topic here. In an article that I read today, which was hands down one of the stupidest articles I've ever read, Max Kellerman from ESPN said that in light of Chief Wahoo, the Notre Dame leprechaun mascot should be the next to go because it offends Irish people. Well, all I know is this. Max Kellerman, along with his other colleagues on ESPN, they're all a bunch of liberal schmucks. You know, Kellerman, Jamel Hill, Stephen A. Smith, Michael Wilbon, they're all a bunch of liberal schmucks who are just pushing an agenda. And I guarantee you, them along with other regular liberals, they don't give two shits about these kind of topics. They're just trying to basically, they're a bunch of attention whores trying to get more attention. And I'm probably feeding them, but this is about the Notre Dame leprechaun. All I can say is this. Not only am I a Notre Dame fan, but I'm of Irish blood. I'm an Irish descendant. And there is nothing in the slightest way offensive about that mascot. That leprechaun mascot represents the fighting spirit that Irish people are about. I mean, for centuries, the Irish people have fought against tyranny. They've fought for their freedom. They've fought against any obstacle that's come in their way. So I am proud of that logo. I am proud to be Irish. And like I just said, that logo represents the fighting spirit of the Irish people. And for anyone to say that it's offensive is just absurd. And then after Kellerman, you had Brian Kenny off of, I think he works for the MLB network. He says that he's of Irish descent, and he thinks that it should be removed because it's offensive. Well, all I can say is this. If people like Brian Kenny and anybody else who's of Irish blood, if you're offended by the Notre Dame leprechaun, then you're offended at being Irish. So you might as well go become British then in that case. But it is just unreal, guys. Just how this liberal influence has just destroyed our country and our society. I mean, today's generation, the majority of them are a bunch of pussies. They are a bunch of pussies who are literally offended at everything, it seems like. But, I mean, I'm just stating the obvious there. And most of these issues with mascots, these kids don't give two shits about it. They just do it, just like on ESPN. They just do it because they want to think that they're being a part of something, that they're fighting a great cause, and when in reality they're just brainwashed. They can't think for themselves. And the funny thing is, they none of them really started giving a shit about any of this stuff until just a few years ago. And all I know is, if this was my chance on this video to address Father Jenkins at Notre Dame and Jack Swarbrick, which obviously I think it would be Father Jenkins who has the final say on this, do not screw with that logo. You keep that logo and you stand proudly behind it because it represents the fighting spirit of the Irish. And I know I've said that multiple times, but it can't be said enough. Do not screw with that logo. You keep it and be proud of it. But the sad part is, this liberal influence has found its way to Notre Dame. I mean, hence, you have the blatant disrespect from the walkout at graduation last year. And I'm sure this liberal influence has always been at Notre Dame to some degree, but this is the most ridiculous it's ever been. And I've seen it from going up to South Bend on just many times in recent years. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's really sad. And it just seems like any owner of a team or whoever, if someone comes along and says, oh, that's offensive, that's offensive, that's offensive, they immediately cave to them. Don't cave to these liberal schmucks. They only do this because they want control. That's what their whole agenda is about, is controlling people. They don't care if something is offensive or not. They just want control and the attention. That's all. So it's really sad that nobody has any balls anymore. I mean, Dan Schneider, Schneider, sorry, not Schneider, who owns the Washington Redskins. That guy has balls. He has guts. I mean, shit, they tried to take away his copyright, and he still fought against them. Where's that? Where is that fighting spirit? I mean, nobody has any balls anymore. It's sickening. Grow a pair and fight back against these liberal fascists, these liberal Nazis, because that's exactly what they are. But before I start rambling about other things, and I could go on forever here, and actually I only have 5% left, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Nothing at all offensive against the Notre Dame Leprechaun. Nothing offensive about it at all. It is a proud logo, and it's a great logo, and it should stay at Notre Dame. And not that anybody else at this level will see it, but Brian Kellerman, Max Kellerman, Brian Kenny, you can both shove it up your ass along with all the other liberal schmucks out there on ESPN, the media, and even just regular everyday people who hold these similar views. Screw all of you. And on that note, this is NDSean45 signing off. And as always, God bless and go Irish. Proud of that leprechaun.